On this webcast, we're going to give you the secret sauce for pay-per-clicks, Google Adwords, and organic SEO. Let's go. Hey everybody, this is Antoine Dupont with Catapult Marketing, and this is webcast number 8. Eighth episode. Can you believe this? And today we have Jennifer Denney with Elevated Marketing Solutions, and I am super excited having Jennifer because Jennifer is the queen of PPC. See, she knows everything about PPC. I think she invented it at one point. So Jennifer, please introduce yourself to the hundreds, thousands, and millions of people who watch this video later today, or maybe in the future. Tell us who you are, what you do, and especially why you get up in the morning.
Well, like you said, Jennifer Denney, I'm the owner of Elevated Marketing Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in digital marketing for a little over 10 years. It is a major passion of mine. What do I get up for daily to do digital marketing? I'm obsessed with it. I get up at 4:45 in the morning, and that's immediately what I do is grab a cup of coffee and go check my AdWords accounts and see how well we've done from the previous day.
Yeah, you sure know your stuff. I know, like, if there's one person, it's like I gotta have an answer about PPC. And let me tell you something. I've been in the business for a long time, and I've talked to a lot of people. But you have by far, like, I know you're gonna give it to me straight. And I know you. I know that you know your stuff. So, what's interesting also is tell me a little bit about your background professionally, like how, because I know you managed a big team and you managed a big account. So, without naming names, give us a little bit of a sense of the scope of what you've done to learn everything that you know.
So I actually started off at a large company that sold what I would kind of call the lower end type digital marketing to small businesses. And I did that for about 8 years. And I really, figured out that I didn't want to do that anymore because they weren't telling the truth. And they were really out there taking advantage of people and companies. And so I moved more into the agency world, and I did that for several years. And all along, I get up every day, and I'm kind of obsessed with reading anything that Google puts out, trying to understand the world of digital marketing and what Google wants. If there is a Google product out there, I can almost guarantee I've heard of it, and I know it quite well. So I'm really obsessed with Google more than anything, but that's kind of the way that I've gone. And then I just decided to go out on my own and take care of clients myself, and it has been a wonderful journey here for at least the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me about, because the problem is, you are probably suffering from that, and I am as an agency with you dealing with people is that this thing where I've been burned before, and and you're like, because there's so many companies out there that are giving us a bad name because they're doing so. And again, we're not naming names, and I don't want to point the finger, but I want to get a sense of what were they doing that you didn't like ethically. That bothered you, like you shouldn't do that. Were they taking money from people where they shouldn't, or what were they doing? Were they lying to them? What were they doing?
I think, first of all, it depends on the product line, but I would see things like they would make promises to clients that, there's all this traffic available, and if they just spend this money, they can be in the first spot. And, and it's just not true. When you get to really small businesses, they have smaller budgets, and, that's part of it. And so that would bother me. It would bother me that they would sell these quote unquote SEO packages that only included a couple of items. And sure, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but it wasn't true SEO. Mm-hmm. I don't think SEO can be sold as a package. I think it's every individual business is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in PPC, every individual business is going to be different. So I think it takes a person that's willing to customize it for that particular type of industry to tell them what it's going to take. You can't just sell a $500 package across the board and say, hey, that's going to work for you, and you.
Yeah,
it's not true.
And that's exactly my problem is like they don't have the courage. What they'll do is they'll take the $500 a month where they, you're going to be able to do some stuff, but ultimately you need $1,500 or $2,000 a month in order to give it justice because it's a competitive market and whatnot. And instead of telling them that, they'll just take the $500 and then just, throw mud at the wall and hope it sticks. And the truth of the matter is just, it's not going to work. And I think that's the thing that you and I are dealing. So people are, they spent $500 a month and they got nothing in return. And then they got burned. And I'm like, well, the problem is they should have told you that $1,500 a month is really where you need to be at, and then you would have gotten a return on investment that would probably have far exceeded what you're looking for. But $500 a month ain't going to do it.
Right, and I think it's a $1 billion industry right now. I think that's the latest number that I've seen, and so it's kind of the wild, wild west where everybody is out there just trying to take as much money as they possibly can. And for me, at the end of the day, I have to rest my head on that pillow. Yeah. And if I'm not making you money, then fire me because I don't care. I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to get the results and to help companies, succeed as this. I'm tired of people being taken advantage of. It's just not right.
Right. And it's the same. I mean, when we first started, and I'll agree with you, it's a wild, wild west out there. And I'll tell you that after talking to so many agencies, the vast majority of agencies don't know what they're doing. They really don't. It's like they invent themselves. Like everybody is a Google certified webmaster, organic content writing, video production. I mean, they do it all. And I'm like, no, you can't. Like, it's impossible that you guys can be experts or any good at all this stuff. And that's what I like about you is like, listen, what I do is PPC. That's it. You want videos? Not me. You want a website? Not me. You want content? Not me. I do PPC. What part of PPC then you get? And that's great because then you're becoming specialist and you're becoming an expert in that field. And that's the same thing with us. It's like, we're, as the time goes by, we are, sharpening the saw where we are, the places where we really, really are good is content marketing, producing amazing content to help you organically. That's the place.
And I need that content.
Right, and you do need that.
I need that content.
Right. But we don't have expertise in I just said no to a guy. Just came to me, wants a big e-commerce website. I'm like, I don't do e-commerce. And could I find people? Could I put a couple of apples together to make a fruit basket? Yes. But it's not a good idea. And I think I've heard Paul Dunn saying that, success is what you say no to. And I think we need to have a lot more digital marketing agencies said no. That's not an area of expertise. Yes, there's good money to be made, but don't do it. Don't do it. Don't take it because you're burning yourself and you're burning all of us in the process. And like that. All right. So enough talking about this. What I want to talk about, and you and I were talking before we started to record, I'd like to know from your viewpoint, what are the myths about Google PPC? Like if you're a small business out there and you're interested about PPC and you're like, you don't know, like, should I do it? I heard some stuff and everything. You got, from the horse's mouth, from Jennifer, she's going to tell you what are the myths about PPC.
So I think one of the top myths that I hear a lot is that it's expensive, I don't have enough money to be in that first position, and I need to be in that first position or it's not even worth it. And, the truth of the matter is there is an online auction that's going on all the time, and that top position is not determined by how much money you have. If I bid the most money or bid the most on every keyword and I've got the highest amount, if my campaign is not set up the way that Google would like your campaign to be set up, then Google won't put you in that top position. It's all about your quality score, and you have to play by Google's rules, just like you have to in the SEO world. And so Google rewards people that give a good user experience, from choosing the right keyword, having an ad that has to do with that keyword, to landing on a page that resolves the issue that someone originally intended when they went to search in the first place. If you don't do that, then Google doesn't want to show your ad. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Google wants good ads and good positioning. So the other part of that myth is, if I do have all of that in line and I do want to bid for that top position, I think not. I think people get click happy on that top position, and my research, as well as several other people's research, has shown that probably position 2 or 3, you're better off, and you'll convert more than you do on position 1, because people love that back button, and you just wasted all that money to have them click through.
Right. It's actually, and this is, by the way, for everybody, for someone that's watching here, what Jennifer is talking about here are the ads, obviously. And when you do a search like we did, like dentist in West Palm Beach, the first 4 are the ads, which is what she is an expert in putting your brand right there. And then you have what is called the local pack, the map pack. So this is also important, but that's organic. You have nothing to do with this. And then below that, you have organic, the organic results. 1, 2, 3, you have actually 10 results. And I'm seeing 4 ads now. So it's funny. I think it's fluid. They used to have ads on the side, and those are gone. And now you have 4 at the top. Used to be 3. Now it's I'm seeing 4. So that's what she's talking about.
Well, yeah, they got rid of the right side ads because they really were not getting clicked on. Most people were clicking over on the left-hand side. The other theory, which we can't prove, is that Google wanted a space to put their product listing ads. So these are the Google shopping ads that you sometimes see. They look more like, I'm ready to buy and I want to buy the product, just another search type campaign that you can do. So that was another reason why we believe they got rid of the right side ads.
Okay, got it. Totally. So what other myth? You talked about the top position is, like, for example, like West Palm Beach dentist, like it's either this one or it doesn't wear up. And what you're saying is it's actually not true. Being in the 4 here is what's important. But the number 1 position is not the truth. There's a matter of fact, what's interesting here is that I'm seeing, for me, the second ad I would say is very interesting. It looks like a better constructed ad as opposed to the first one. You have an address.
I would agree too.
Yeah, you have an address, affordable dentistry, free new patient exam and x-ray. You have a rating. That looks like, it looks very, it actually looks better than the first one. Affordable premium dental care, the second one. Yeah, it's okay.
So,
it looks, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was analyzing that as well, the second ad is definitely the best looking ad. And, there's all kinds of what's called extensions on that ad. And when you can go in there and set up extensions to your heart's desire, but if you're not following everything that Google wants you to follow, they won't even show your extensions. So, for instance, that top ad might actually have extensions set up, but they're not following what Google would like, and so they're not showing their extensions. That's another piece of the pie when it comes to PPC.
Well, you're talking about the extension. You're talking about this here, the rest of the stuff.
So what you have there is you have review extensions. So I can see those, which is the reviews. Not everybody gets those. You have to actually sign up for a review program with Google. You have location extensions on there, so it's showing an address. That top ad might or might not have it. Depending on where you made the search, from what I know, you're located right in West Palm, so they're going to show the location extensions because you are close to that area.
No, that's
that
actually
top
brilliant.
dentist,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, might not be located in this area, and so therefore they didn't show their location extension because they're actually maybe a middleman selling leads to dentists, and they're not here locally.
So they're paying a crap load of money to be in number one position, but I mean, if I'm looking at this, I mean, I'm seeing Aspen Dental. I'm seeing an address here, North Lake. I know that that's not too far from me. The chances are, I think that even that is second position. I would assume that they're going to get the vast majority of the clicks. So it goes
Right.
completely
And
against what, not against, but it goes completely with what you're saying, proving the case that, the quality of your PPC expert really is what makes a difference, because here you have a guy that's paying a lot more money, West Palm Beach dentist, to be in first position, and no way he's getting all the clicks.
yeah, it comes down to the math, and so that's why you want somebody that's really good at this, because I'm looking statistically, is your ad better in position 1, 2, or 3? And that's part of what you would pay for with, a PPC expert, is them understanding, hey, I know your ad is better placed in position 3 versus position 2. So I'm not going to bid as much on your ads because I think, I can show you that your ad performs better in position 3. It's a big, giant math game.
Yeah, it is. It's understanding that, which is another myth that we talked about it, what you set it and forget it, which is it's a complete myth. Like it's every day. Like, we first started the call, you say, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I go see the dial because I want to see what's moving, and everything about SEO, from my standpoint, which is organic SEO, and you as PPC, I mean, it's fluid. It's always moving up and down. There's no like,
Right.
you set it and there you go, you have it. You have to, things change because people are going to compete with you for the better spot.
Right.
They'll outbid you, or they'll create a better ad,
Right.
and then all of a
Right.
sudden
Right.
they're on top.
So I'm constantly, monitoring campaigns. I'm constantly testing. There's so many different aspects of PPC to test. I'm constantly raising or lowering bids. I might even turn off campaigns. I might turn on campaigns. I might add new keywords. I might add some negatives. So there's definitely always a constant. I have clients that have been with me, 2, 3 years plus, and every year, every month, their ROI increases because I'm constantly optimizing the campaign, looking at that overall, what is their cost per conversion, and how can I continue to lower that cost per conversion.
Very, very cool. No one. So let's talk about the myth that, and then I'm guilty of that because and I told you that before. I'll ask people, do you ever click on the ads? And people say no. So I says, there you go, proof that organic is really where it's at. So organic, the difference, for if you don't know, when you do a search, the first 4 results or 3 or 4 results is going to be ads, and then you have the map, then you have organic, which is where statistically what the percentage is telling is that people will have click on the organic in much higher numbers than they will on the ads. But the truth of the matter is that it's not like nobody clicks on the ads. You still have a good percentage of people that are clicking on the ads, and these produce actually significant return on investment if you play the game right? So you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So when it comes to PPC, I can go in there and I can choose the keywords just like I have in this instance. I believe we chose dentist. I forget the exact query, but I'm
Dentist
able
in
to
West Palm
choose
Beach.
the queries. So I'm able to choose the queries that I would like to show up for. Versus when you get into SEO, you do your best to optimize for certain keywords, but as you can see down there in the organic listing, some of the top ones that you are vying for, we're going against Yelp and we're going against Yellow Pages, and that might be a tough game. So, this might not be a good keyword choice to go after for SEO. You might choose some longer tail keywords to go after, but it's a perfect one to go after for PPC. because I can get in those top 4 positions.
Yeah, and that's actually very
You're
important
also,
here, what you're saying, and that people need to understand, is the chances for you to beat Yelp.com,
right,
Yellowpages.com. So these 3 are directories which have enormous amount of authority. It would be
yep,
almost a no-go. Town Care Dental obviously put themselves in position number 4, which they've done a good job. But Health Grade is also a directory. USA Top Dentist
right.
is also a directory. And then you have My Sage Dental. I will say that looks like that could possibly be another a group of things. So on that top 10, it looks like 3/4 of them are directories with enormous amount of authority, and the chances of
Right.
you going there organically is very, very difficult. In
So
yeah, go ahead.
when you look at that, and I know the research on how much it costs for Yelp. So Yelp can cost anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a month for me to advertise my dentistry on their directory.
Mm-hmm.
Why not take that $2,500 to $3,500 and skip Yelp and be at the top of the page underneath the ads and control the situation rather than allowing Yelp, the middleman, to control the situation?
Right.
Because you have
And
to
Yelp is
compete
not just
again.
showing you. Yelp is showing the best 27 dentistry. So it's not like Yelp is saying,
Right.
"Oh, I'm going to put." Oh, actually, that's what they're selling you is we're going to put your ads in the prominent places. But you still are sharing the space with other 10, 20 restaurants, 10, 20 dentists, 10, 20 lawyers, as opposed to Google ads where you're like, "No, this is me."
Yep. Yep. So you're competing twice. You're competing in the original search, and then you're going to compete again when you get to Yelp. So that's just another reason for this particular term. It probably has a really large search volume. A lot of people are going to search for that very basic, I need a dentist in West Palm. It's going to be very unlikely that you can rank for SEO. It's going to be difficult. This is a perfect term to go after for PPC, given that you can make an ROI. That comes back to how much does your services cost and how much are you putting into there. So I'm always looking at if I spend this much, I'm going to make this much. Okay, this makes sense. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it.
Sorry, my phone just rang. Well,
the
this is
other
live.
thing, the other thing is studies have been shown that, let's take a term that you show up both organically and you show up in the ads. It's been shown that people are more likely to click on the organic listing and when the ad shows as well because there's more eggs in the basket and you have shown more authority. And so people are more likely to click on you. So honestly, if you can capture all 3 spots, you're more likely to increase your organic click-throughs as well. So that's kind of a byproduct of doing PPC as well.
Okay,
Controlling the messaging.
right.
Yeah. So
Right. Yeah, and so we're looking at personal injury lawyer, and the reason why I put that is because I would say that that's probably one of the most competitive keyword that we would have out there. I mean, there's Jennifer and I were just working with a company just recently that was marine inspection, I believe that was that. It is a non-competitive keyword. So the difference between a personal injury lawyer and a marine inspection where you have very little competition, I mean, it's night and day in terms of budget. One will require a few $100 a month, and I believe that we're looking at about $300 a month to compete, which makes complete sense because it's not a competitive, but personal injury lawyer will probably be in the thousands of dollars in order to compete there, right?
Right. So that's probably another common myth is that it should cost the same across the board. You have to remember that this is an online auction that is going on all the time, and everybody is going in there and saying what they're willing to bid. So if you get personal injury, you've got deep pockets, they are willing to pay more per click because they make more per click. But there becomes a level of drop-off where it's not worth it. Personal injury can cost sometimes $70, $80 a click. That's just a click. That's not a phone call. That's not a lead. That's just to bring somebody to your site. So if you don't have a good-looking site that's going to convert well, don't do it. It's not worth the money. But if you do have a good-looking site and you think that if I could just get them to my site, I'm going to get that phone call, then, the money becomes worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's the difference between you and I and some companies out there, is that we're going to tell people the truth. We're going to tell you, listen, it's like I have people, and I'm sure you have, like, people that come to you and they say, I have a $500 a month budget, or I have a $1,000 a month budget. And the truth of the matter is that may not be anywhere near the type of money you need to invest in order to make it work, because it's a bidding thing, and we have to outbid the competition. And your $1,000, if you need to be in a $2,500 range, it's some companies will take that money and try to do something with it. And I know that Jennifer and I will say, no, you can't. It's not going to work. Take your money, throw it out the window on High 95 or on the highway, and you're going to get a lot more fun than throwing it at PPC, because it's not going to work.
Right. Right.
And for example, when you're dealing with a client, like, I have some lawyers, the average value of a new customer, it's going to be $5,000 to $10,000, because it's those, huge cases and whatnot. But if you're dealing with, for a business where you're selling a $150 part, like a hose fitting or a plumber and stuff, that may not work for you, because the value of a new customer may not offset what you have to invest in order to get those clicks. So that's the type of stuff that we measure, and we're saying, I do something different than PPC, because it's not going to work out for you.
Right. You have to do the math along how many. Sometimes, I've seen really high conversion rates. I've seen 20, 30, which is just completely unheard of. That, once they got through, they actually ended up making the phone call or the form fill. Some businesses, let's just take B2B type businesses, it takes more, getting to their website and learning more about that business before they decide to pull that trigger. Mm-hmm. So, that one, you have to measure that versus if I'm a plumber and I have to pay $50 a click, I hope that I get that call, because my call is only worth $150.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Otherwise, you spend more than what you're making.
Yeah, and it's not a good way to run a business. I got to tell you that.
Right.
The best way to run yourself to the ground is pay more than you actually make. Right.
Right.
All right, so that's cool. Like, listen, I know we're way over the time limit that I've arbitrarily set, but I think it's all good stuff. And I know that if you're confused, if you want to know about PPC here, you're getting an enormous amount of good information that I hope will make a difference. The last point I want to make before we go, which I think is an important thing, because I'm the organic guy and you're the PPC lady, girl, or I don't know what, woman, superwoman. There you go. You're the PPC superwoman, and I'm the organic Superman. There you go. Is long-term versus short-term. So the issue that we have as organic people is that the lack of patience. People they don't have the patience that it takes, because they're looking at organic SEO as sales. It's marketing, but they're looking at it as sales. And in essence, I invest $1,000. I want to have a return on investment on $1,000 month to month. And I'm like, well, that's not how it works, because it's a long-term strategy which will pay dividends down the road in a 12-month campaign, because it takes me an enormous amount of time to put your website organically in the spot where I need it to be. If you come to me, we're going to do an analysis, and we may, after optimizing your website, just do the basic, get you in 33rd position or 27th position. Well, then we have to climb. We got to get yourself out there little bit by little bit, and it's not, step by step. It goes up, then it goes down, then it goes back up, then it goes a little bit down, then it goes back, good up, and then down. But it's like the upward trend over time will put you in the right spot. And SEO, organic SEO, is a long-term strategy. Now, it pays enormous dividend if you're willing to be patient and do the long game, the 12 to 18 month game over time. But I know that PPC is different because it's more of a short term, because your ad will show there within a month, right? So talk to me about that.
Yeah. So, if you choose the right keywords and you put together the right ads, I'm going to know within 30 to 60 days, is this worth it for you? Are you producing an ROI? You will be producing an ROI within 30 to 60 days. If you're not, then you shouldn't do it anymore. So it's a little bit different than like what you're saying with SEO, is you might spend a lot of money up front in order for the long-term gain. PPC is different, and it's more of, I hate to use the word immediate, but a heck of a lot quicker than SEO.
Right.
I mean, there's certainly optimization that needs to go into PPC as well, but you're going to know pretty quickly if you're making money or if you're not making money, as long as you're with a good agency and they're able to show you the results and showing you everything that you've got. So that's a big difference maker. So I think that doing PPC in conjunction with SEO will help you overall see, I'm careful to say it, but sometimes doing PPC can help offset the cost of SEO, because you can make more money at it in a quicker time frame than you can with SEO. Not that you shouldn't do both.
Right. Well, and obviously you're going to pull the covers towards you, and I'm going to pull them towards me. I'm like, you're going to say, no, PPC. I'm going to say, no, organic. But ultimately, I think the ultimate campaign for a company is having the right balance of organic, because this is, a lot more people click on organic results than on PPC with a solid PPC campaign. It's both of them. The problem that you and I have is that, people will do either or, understanding like, I'm going to, I only have a certain amount of money. Obviously, if all you have is $2,500 and you have to choose between Antoine or Jennifer, then you kind of like, what do I do? Long-term, short-term. Ultimately, you should do both. You should find a way to generate the budget so you can do both PPC and organic, because the PPC is going to be a short-term return on investment, and organic is going to be the long-term, which will have a higher return, but it's going to take time to get there. And obviously for us, with people not having the patience, sometimes it's just finding that balance.
So, and I also, I'm not shy to say that sometimes you need to do the SEO first. You need to get your website in order. You need to be able to answer people's questions. You need to have a good user experience before you even think about PPC, because then you're just going to waste money driving traffic to a website that, quite frankly, sucks.
You know what? You actually made a point, and I'm glad you said it, because ultimately the quality of the creative is really what is going to convert. I can put an ad, but if I take you inside of a store that has dirty racks, the lighting sucks, and the cashier is not friendly, you're going to turn around and leave. And the first step to look at is the website. Is the website designed to convert? So if I land on that personal injury lawyer, does it tell me I'm a personal injury lawyer? I have expertise into that. I have some testimonial. I have a form for you to fill out. I have my phone number. All the credibility is there for you to say, that is a good personal injury lawyer. The lighting is right. The shelves are full. The cash register is smiling. You got that. And it's like, you could throw your money, which, by the way, for us, we don't do organic SEO until the first thing we do is we fix the website. And if you're not willing to have the website being proper, fixed or anything, we'll say, not interested. We're not going to do it. And we want control of the website. And the reason why we want control of the website is because if I don't have control of the website, then I'm again, throwing mud at the wall, hoping it's going to stick. And I'm not interested in that. I'm not. I need to have complete control of the website for no other reason that I can control what we're doing. And the first thing we're going to do is make sure the website looks decent on a mobile phone, right? And on a desktop. Yep. And then it's going to provide information people need to make a decision. So this was good, right?
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, this was a great call. So, Jennifer, thank you so much, for doing this webcast with me. Yeah, I think we've shed a lot of light for people out there, not understanding what PPC is and organic and whatnot. And now I hope they got a good concept of what is the difference between one and the other, and especially how to do it right. So that's really, I'm really grateful that you took the time to do this webcast with me. So thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me on.
That's awesome. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe on my channel right now. Do it right now. Just subscribe. Click on the subscribe button. And if you want, some exclusive content, you can also sign up on our website, and we send a weekly newsletter. I would love to keep you in my subscribers list. Now it's the time to hear from you. If you have questions, or if there are things that you need some clarification on, just put some comments right below, and I'll do my best to answer it as quickly as possible. But I'd love to hear from you. So leave me a comment below right now. That would be great. And on that note, Jennifer, thank you so much, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.